Very soon, we're going to have knowledge of how to request a web and get some information from it. Right now, we don't have it. Hey there everyone, Hitesh here, and in this video we're going to talk about conditionals, but in such a way that we want to build a real world application which is helping us. And we're going to modify it a little bit because we don't have full-fledged knowledge of it, but assuming that, let's just say someday we'll get that knowledge, let's build this application. So the idea is really simple. We want to build a simple temperature app which grabs somehow from the internet that grab a temperature, today's temperature, and we're going to provide users some of the custom messages based on how much hot it is outside. Again, we don't have knowledge of how to take these web requests and all of that right now. Eventually we'll do that. Let's do step-by-step stuff. So how we're going to do that, first and foremost, usually we would like to declare a simple variable. Let's call it as temperature. There we go. I'm going to be using degrees Celsius. So if you're watching outside who uses Fahrenheit, why are you still using Fahrenheit? Everybody is using Celsius. So let's just say we do that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to mark this one as simple to do for later on uses. Something like go to Google or something else and get the data. So this assume that we have somehow gone to the Google and got some data. So let's go ahead and say that now this temperature is having a data of 20 degrees. Okay, fair and fine, pretty easy. Somehow we got that data. Now we want to display conditional messages to the user based on some events. So how we're going to do that? For that we use a simple keyword of if. And this is how the syntax look like. We use a pair of parentheses and then the curly braces, and that's it. It's a pretty simple, very standard thing in all programming language. And here we compare a few stuff that however you want to have. Let's just say you want to display a message if the temperature is actually less than 20. And you want to provide a message to the user. Let's go ahead and log that. We're going to simply say it's very cold outside. I know it's not very much cold, but let's just say we get that. Now how this is being evaluated, we need to understand this, and once we understand that, rest of the part is pretty clear. We have already discussed these kinds of things in the past as well. To jog your memory a little bit, if you remember, we were having these things like I was calling them as result. So result, and we grab that, and once this is being done, if I just go ahead and have this log of result, save that and try to run this one here, notice we get a false here. So these are Boolean values. So now we can conclude that these if and else actually works on these if and else. Okay, that's pretty easy. So I'm going to comment that out. We don't need this one. Let's go ahead and first and foremost hard code the values here. So we're going to simply say a false here, which is hard coded Boolean value. We go ahead and try to run this one. We get no result. If we turn the flag on to be hard coded true value, we go ahead and save this and run this. There we go. It's very cold outside. So the proven fact that this works on the Boolean values. So everything needs to finally evaluate down to the true and false Boolean results so that these blocks of code can execute. A block of code is known as these curly braces. So in case I want to say that this is just an empty block of code. It's a very foundational concept of the programming language that you need to understand where and what is called as a block of code. This is known as the empty block here right now, but this is all a block of code. Okay. Moving further, we want to execute this block of code here. So for that, I will again revert back to my condition, which is if temperature is actually less than 20, then only display the message. Now let's go ahead and run this one here and we see nothing. So somehow this condition is getting evaluated as false. This means that 20 is not less than 20. Obviously, because it is equal to 20. Now here comes a couple of options in front of me that first and foremost that I go ahead and say it is less than or equal to 20, then go ahead and print the message. It surely is going to do that. Or I can actually mark it as simply that if it is equals to 20. We're going to go ahead and run this one. It also works. But here's the side thing in the JavaScript, which is we can use these triple equals, which we are going to talk later on. And this will also give us the same result. But what's the difference? We will have a separate video on that, a full behind the scene understanding of it. Then we're going to talk about it. Okay. So you got to know now how these blocks are being executed. Now let's just say we want to evaluate further for something like 29, and I'm going to revert it back if the temperature is actually less than 20. Now the temperature is not less than 20, 100% I'm sure of it. I have written that. So let's just run this. This doesn't work. So I would like to add another block of code, in this case, another if and else, where I will evaluate something like if the temperature, I'm going to copy that instead of making the mistake. So temperature is, let's just say, less than 30, then I would like to show up a different message. Let's go ahead and log this message as well, which is going to say it's moderate outside. Nice and easy. Try to run this again. It doesn't work. It works actually because we are seeing it's moderate. So we are comparing 30 here, and yeah, that's actually not 30, that's 29, my bad. So 29 definitely is less than 30 and we get that. So, but now let's just move it to 39 now. So temperature is increasing a lot. Now, this block of code, no, this is not going to execute. This block of code, no, this is not going to execute. So we can finally write another if block here. But there is an alternative in case you want to use that, and that is using an else case as well. Else case is really simple. If this is going to execute, then else is not going to execute. And it simply says, hey, I'm going to do this. If I'm not going to able to do this, then 100% sure I'll do this one. It's almost really simple. So let's just say that this block only says that execute if it is less than 20. This one says if it is less than 30, then execute this. Otherwise, for rest of whatever happens, I want to execute this one. So let's go ahead and simply have a log here, and it's going to say it's really hot outside. Now, we don't care about writing multiple if statements. Rather, we are just having this much of worry part. Rest for everything, we are saying it's hot outside. When I run this one, it says it's really hot outside. Now, no matter what I change the temperature, like 49, whatever I receive, I'm evaluating for all of them as it's really hot outside. Now, notice here, these things can get a bit more complex than this one. So just keep that in mind. I will give you a small example here. I know this is going to get 100% a bit more complex, but this is something that you need to see here right now. What you're going to see that sometime inside this if block, or maybe these else block or something, you're going to see that people again further write these if blocks here. I will not be executing because this will make things confusing, and that's the last thing on the planet I want. But just remember that these if conditional block doesn't need to be always at the very top level. They can sometime be inside else, sometime inside another if, and then another if. So they can get a bit more complex here. I won't be giving you directly an example like this because this is going to be confusing. Don't want to do that. Rather, we will have much more better examples so that we can understand these complex ones. Okay, so there we go. Basics are, I hope these are clear up. But not only this, if and else is such a very foundational conditional block of programming in JavaScript 2 that we're going to spend a couple of more videos with it, understanding a bit more complex through having some of the use case scenarios, some of the real world, which you absolutely love. We're going to go ahead and do that and have some more practice on if and else. But that's going to all happen once you're going to hit that subscribe button. And I'm sure majority of you are already subscribed. For those who are not, go ahead and hit that, and let's catch up in next video.